I didn't think about it enough. I didn't think about it too much. Like I said, I had an older brother and sister, and my brother was the oldest. He went to college, and he went to a university in Santa Barbara, and he also benefited from something that used to exist called affirmative action, where minorities can actually had a higher rate of going to college, and he was a beneficiary of that. That's been kind of taken away, so universities aren't as diverse as they were a few years ago. So I saw him do it, and he was, like I said, he was the same person who was passing me literature, and he was a really smart, he is a very smart guy, but he was also very fun. You know, he was active, and he partied, and he did all this kind of stuff, and he was part of a whole new world that I had never seen, so I really admired that, and I looked up to him. And so when he would give me advice, which was usually stop getting in trouble, don't be stupid about what you do with your decisions, and read this or listen to this music or something, I would eat that up. And so when I saw him go to college, and then he was the one who was like, well, you got to do this too. If you want to have any opportunity in the world to influence the world, you have to take these steps. And so I listened to that. And so, so I think really seeing him do it was important for me. It made it all make more sense as to why I should even do that. So if I didn't have that, I don't know what I would have thought, because I wasn't thinking deeply about college or my career and all that stuff. So m.e.ch.a is probably the only student organization that survived the 60s, like the civil rights movement, when students were very important in making sure that bilingual education was happening, when when farm workers were getting exploited, like, back in the day, like farm workers, they would literally fly over your head and spray pesticides on the workers while they're working, right? This kind of stuff would happen, and the students started taking a role in trying to change their society, trying to better their identity, like the idea, the word like brown is beautiful. Like we had never ever heard that in our whole history. We had never thought of ourselves as being like beautiful, important people. And so the students were at the forefront of pushing that and trying to change their society. And they created an organization called m.e.ch.a, and it still exists on our campuses here at Sonoma State. And I think it's really students that are trying to find their identity through working in the world. So not just an identity like, going back to our Aztec roots and getting Aztec tattoos, but rather maybe getting an Aztec tattoo and wearing an Aztec shirt, and then figuring out how do you work in your neighborhood to make sure that something's happening and you're becoming better and stronger. And for me, it was just important to have a platform that I could start feeling secure about who I wanted to become in the world. And I know there's a lot of our current, I think like the mayor of LA, Villaraigosa, was a m.e.ch.ista. There's all these public officials who are like, have a lot of power in the state right now who were at some point part of m.e.ch.a. But I think it was just a way to find people who thought like you, were going through the same questions of identity that I was going through. And then we tried to activate ourselves in the community with marches and with food and clothes drives to like day laborers and all that stuff. And we didn't know what we were doing, but we were trying. We knew we wanted to have an impact in our community. We didn't know why necessarily, but we had an idea, and we challenged ourselves to do it. And it was scary, some of it was scary, but it was fun, and we grow from it. When you challenge yourself in those ways, you grow. Inevitably, you grow. So, and the point of life is to grow, I think. And so putting yourself in positions where you have an opportunity to be challenged and grow is the best thing you can do. And m.e.ch.a offered me that, and it offered me a philosophy by which to live. And so I'm very grateful to it. And I still work with a lot of good people that I met in that organization. And we had fun too. It wasn't just like politics and social activism. It was fun, I don't think there's equality, and that's based on our numbers, right? That's based on our ability to enact change. It's based on our ability to vote. I was actually having this conversation yesterday that the Southwest Santa Rosa, politically speaking, in terms of votes and representation, Latinos who live here, it doesn't matter politically yet to public officials, to city council members, to politicians. It's good for them to come into the neighborhood and talk about the importance of certain issues. But politically speaking, in terms of numbers and votes, which is what they're thinking about, and money, which is what they're thinking about constantly, the Southwest doesn't matter yet. It will. You know, when all of us become voting age and our children become voting age and we start voting and actually influencing the political process, there's absolutely no way you can negate Roseland, right? And that's when our infrastructure will come in. That's when, you know, I live down the road on m.e.ch.a, and it's like pothole alley. Like I was trying to drink my coffee today on my road and I couldn't drink my coffee because the potholes are just boom, 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 you know? But if you go to the other side of town, it's not like that. You can eat your lunch off of the street, right? In some other parts of the town, right? And so, but it's also based on our ability to participate in the civic process. And once we start participating, then those resources will come. Once we make ourselves matter, then we're going to have the ability to change our neighborhoods, right? And so it's not just about the public officials and if there's equality or equity in our neighborhoods, because that doesn't come. That will never be given to you, right? It's about us. We're not organized enough right now in order to make sure we have equality in our neighborhoods. So it's really up to us, because we will continue to get played if we don't play the game, right? If we're not active, if as students we're not thinking about how to better our neighborhoods, if we're not talking about what's important to our families, and we're not participating, the same thing will happen, and we'll continue blaming other people when we're not actually taking responsibility for our own neighborhoods and our own reality. So part of it is us. We have to be better organized in order to make sure that equality comes to our neighborhoods, because in the absence of us speaking up and participating, the same situation is going to take place. And then we're going to say, oh, this world is so messed up and it's somebody else's fault. But it's really got to be up to us to assume the responsibility for this neighborhood if we care about it, right? So I think, there's not equality. Like I said, it's a question of sheer political power and us assuming responsibility. And it will happen. It will happen. But it's going to have to take us to do it.
Hi, my name is Andrea Chavez.
Hi, I'm Luis Hernandez.
Hi, I'm Diana Ortiz.
Hi, my name is Brenda Perez.
Hi, my name is Tony Sanchez.
Hi, my name is Espinoza.